Good morning, everyone. Today is January 8th, 2023, and it is the 8th day of doing worthy words in a row. Yes, and also the 8th day of the year that I'm actually doing the worthy words. And although I don't like the idea, I might not be able to do it this week. On Thursday due to a procedure I'm having done. We will see whether or not I get to that. However, today is all I need to worry about. And so I want to work on another word that's on the list. So we've done abundance, we've done called, and today I want to do the word effective. Why is effective on the list of worthy words? So the definition, dictionary.com, my go-to place for these words, says that effective means that it's adequate to accomplish a purpose. Yeah. So when you're feeling down about yourself, when I am feeling down about myself, I don't feel adequate to accomplish a purpose. I can get depressed. And when I do, I don't want to do anything. My motivation is gone. And when that happens, I just don't feel like doing anything. So for me, what do I do during those moments? Okay, so I'll journal. And I don't do all these one right after the other. It depends on the day what I do. But I'll journal. I might be able to pull myself out of the funk enough and say, okay, I've got to get blank done. I've got to go to the doctor's today, so I need to go get dressed. I've got to have something to eat, so I'll make myself get up and go get something. I might play a computer game, because if I can't do anything else physically, I'm just so down, I can't even get my body to move. You know, it's a mindless game that I play. I don't have to think. And it takes my mind off of the things that are bothering me. So even though I'm in those moments, I feel like I'm accomplishing nothing, but yet what I'm accomplishing is self-care. I'm accomplishing getting myself to the point where I can pick myself back up. And I have a lot of days like that. You kind of experienced that with me this week. And with my procedure coming up, I'm not able to take my pain medication. So this morning I had a hard time getting off the bed, and I had a hard time getting dressed. And so nothing I can do about it, because I am in pain. But the pain pills allow me to, it takes the edge off and allows me to get some things done. I'm not on a high dose of pain pill. In fact, I'm on the lowest dose because I want to feel the pain some. I want to know when I'm overdoing it. I don't want to overdo it and make matters worse. But I also, at the same time, I need to get some things done. I need to get my laundry done. I need to maybe go grocery shopping. And in the case of this morning, I need to get dressed. So there are a variety of things that we have to deal with on an emotional, on a mental, on a physical level, including myself. You see, I'm right here. I'm right here with you. And so to be effective and to feel adequate to accomplish a purpose on my bad days, that's what I want to feel. Now, I also come from a dysfunctional family where I was not encouraged to get a college degree. I was not encouraged to be the best that I can be in life. And I was put down. I'm trying to be very careful on how I phrase things because I don't want to mess things up with the algorithms. But there was gaslighting going on. There was, well, you get the point. It was not it was a functional home in the sense that our physical needs were met as far as a roof over our heads, utilities were on, and my mother tried the best for where my mother was at in her life. She was a very effective breadwinner as a single parent. But everybody is different. We're not all made of the same DNA. And we all have strengths and weaknesses. And my mother's ability to parent was limited after a certain age. But it wasn't just my mother's lack of parenting skills. It was also the influences of my father and my stepfather. Now, I've had two stepfathers. One that my mother married after I moved out of the house. So I was older. And he was a great guy. But whenever I say my stepfather, I'm always referring to the second husband of my mother. Because that third husband of my mother was a better father to me in his limited capacity with me having moved out of the house than my own father was to me. And so I consider him more of a father figure, even though I never lived with him. So I've got my biological father. I've got the man that took the place of my father. And then I've got my stepfather. And so this stepfather was very damaging. And it's where a lot of the abusive situations came in at. So I in no way blame my mother for the things that man did. However, my mother, when she found out, when she knew what was going on, having been in similar types of situations myself, I know that sometimes it takes a while to get out of bad situations. But you have to want to get out of that bad situation, and you have to look and look and look and scour and figure things out until you're able to get out of that situation, because sometimes we're not able to. Sometimes we have to wait. Sometimes our situations are so bad that we are not able to gather our important documents that we need to take with us. And we have to wait until we can get a hold of them. Sometimes it's a lack of money, a lack of transportation, a lack of a place to go, because sometimes shelters are full and cannot take any more. And we're not about to take our children out of a place where there's a roof over their heads to go live on the streets where they can end up in foster care. We're going to stay in our situation until we can get out of it. There's nothing wrong with that, because you're doing everything that you are able to do in the situation you are in. I was in similar types of situations. But my mother, after she found out what was going on, she did not try to get out of the situation. In fact, even after the courts became involved, and she was court ordered to never have this man near me again, she continuously brought this man around me and eventually moved him back into the house. So, to me, my mother had an opportunity to get out. My mother was working full time, making great money. She could have moved anywhere. She could have gotten a job anywhere. She could have moved away from him. My mother has family members that are in the on the police force, and she could have asked for help, and she chose not to. My mother was warned about this man and his rap sheet, and she did not take heed. And those decisions were on my mother. Okay? But what this man did to me, that's not on my mother. Am I just as guilty? I can say yes. And that's why that's why you don't hear all this emotion towards my mother. I've been in a situation where I didn't know what to do. The difference between me and my mother is that as soon as I realized what was going on, I looked for a way out. I didn't want that situation back. I cut off all ties without having to be told to cut off the ties. Now, I didn't come on to put my mother down. She's got a lot of great qualities, a lot of great skills. Okay? Everybody has their positives and their negatives. My mother's ability to care about her children's self-worth and growth was not as strong as her ability to stay in a relationship that she knew was not good. That doesn't make her a bad person. It is what it is. I would recommend, if she was of the working age and looking for a job, I would recommend her for a job any day of the week. Why? Because I've been to where she works. I've seen how hard she works. I know her skill level. She's a great worker. I would recommend her any day of the week. My mother's ability to work was adequate to accomplish the purpose of keeping a roof over her children's heads. My mother had that worth. And if she was young enough, she would still have that worth. Not everybody excels in everything. Okay? But because of this background, because of this dysfunctional family life that I came out of, I battle every day with whether or not I have the ability, whether or not I am adequate to accomplish the purpose. My mother does not support the fact that I believe the stories need to be told. My degree is in rhetoric and writing. She does not want me writing articles. She does not want me writing my books. She does not want me doing these YouTubes. She does not want me to pour my heart out to women that are hurting and be encouraging. We can rise above this. Yes, we make mistakes. And I feel bad about mine to the point that I've worked on self-growth. I am not the same person today that I was in my 20s. I'm not. And that's just a fact. And I will keep working on myself. Okay? I won't give up. I won't. But even with all of that, I struggle every day with the feeling of inadequacy. Like I am not enough. When I was a teenager, I turned down a boyfriend for my mother's approval. Turned him down. Great guy. And over the years, I regretted that one decision. "2022 was a hard year for me. 2022 was hard because I moved twice. My stuff was in storage in between the moves. I was in a temporary rental, and then I had to work on fixing up my new home and moving my daughter in, and then I was in physical therapy and chiropractic care. And by the time I was finally feeling good enough to continue unpacking, it was Thanksgiving. And the family got together for Thanksgiving. And I was not invited. They were also doing an 80th birthday party for my mother, and I was not invited. I helped my mother move twice. I took care of my mother when she had knee surgery. I took her to her physical therapy appointments. I traveled to the state she's in to do that stuff. I was there for her and her third husband. When his health was down, he nearly died while she was in rehab, fresh out of the hospital from knee surgery. He nearly died, and I went down and I took care of both of them. I went to the hospital for him. I took care of him because she wasn't able to go. She wasn't able to do that stuff, and I was there. I was there. I was there still doing what I could for them. Still seeking approval. And I have to pause this. I've got an important call coming in. Sorry about that. Had to take that call. All right. So where did I leave off? I was talking about the word effective and how I was feeling about feeling adequate to accomplish a purpose. And I've been talking a little bit about the family dynamics. The lack of lifetime support from my mother is where that stems from. And I know this. And so, being effective and feeling like I am adequate to do these things, I am adequate to bring awareness to these things and the damage that it can do over time is important. Not just for me. You know, I've already lived through this. I can keep silent and I can keep struggling. Or I can spend my time thinking about all the people that have lived through similar things. And I want you to know that you are adequate. You are supported. You are loved. You have a purpose. You might not figure it out yet, but you have a purpose. There is a reason you are here, and you may not be aware of it yet. But I need to hear these words just as much. A phone call I received was a hard one for me. I've received several of these kinds of phone calls this week, and just because they're hard doesn't mean that they are not important or that they should stop, because they shouldn't stop. The caller did not upset me. The caller was one of my siblings. My mother's health is deteriorating, and she is not doing well physically, and I'm not able to get to her. And furthermore, she has made it very clear to multiple family members and in a text message to me yesterday that she did not want to have any contact with me. And, you know, I've known this for a while. I tried to call her around Thanksgiving and got ignored. She walked out of the room. She didn't want to talk to me. It didn't hit me until this week what she has done. And one of my siblings has been sharing things with me on how much worse the situation was than I even knew. And I've been talking to her, to my mother, up until around Thanksgiving when I learned all this, which is what caused my month of December in 2022 to be more depressed than anything else. So when I received this text message from my mother yesterday, and it said, "I don't want to talk to you," I'm like, okay, you don't want to talk to me. I'm not going to bother you. I'm not about making matters worse. So I haven't contacted her, but I was pretty upset with some of the information that was in that message. It wasn't that she was being hurtful to me. It was that there are siblings or there is a sibling that lives close enough to her that he can get to her, and he chooses not to help her. So when I learned in the text message how much help she needs and how much help she has not been getting, I was livid yesterday. I was livid because my mother is still a human being. And this one sibling point blank told me before Thanksgiving that whatever my mother wants, my mother is getting until the day she dies. And yet he cannot get up and go help take care of her. I was livid yesterday. She wanted me to understand her position. I understand her position. She's allowed to feel the way she feels. She doesn't want to talk to me. Not a problem. I'm not trying to cause more problems in the family. So I haven't responded to her. And the phone call that just came in is because another sibling called her to check on her. And she said, the sibling said that my mother is very upset that she sent me a text message yesterday and that I have not reached out to her. I called her Thanksgiving and she walked away. She sent me a text message yesterday saying she does not want to talk to me. And yet she is upset with me that I have not reached out to her. And yet I have fought for somebody to go take care of her, regardless of how she has treated me, regardless of whether or not she has been supportive of me. She is still a human being. So now I'm in a dilemma. What do I do? And no, I am not asking you to answer that question. Excuse me here a moment. I don't want to be dripping. This is raw stuff. This is raw stuff, and this is the reason the worthy words are so needed. So needed. I've had some deadlines. And I have a project I need to get done, and it's got a deadline. And it's way overdue, and that's got to be a priority. But here's the thing. Even if I want to go down to my mother's and take care of her, I used to be a CNA, certified nursing assistant, before my car accident. I know I can help her, but physically, I cannot. I've had rotator cuff repair. I've got hip problems. I've got a knee problem. I can make her meals. I can give her a bed bath, but I'm not going to be able to give her physical support if she's falling over. And that concerns me. I have trouble being in a car for more than an hour because I am in so much pain. Even with a pain pill, I am in so much pain after I've been sitting in my car for an hour. And hers is a 19-hour trip nonstop. So, and then there's the hotel rooms, and it'll take me 3 or 4 days to get down there. It used to take me 2 days, but I can no longer drive like I used to. And then there's the doctor's appointments, and I got a procedure this week. I cannot be in 2 places at once, and I've got 2 doctors that are through telehealth, and unfortunately I have to be located in the state of Arkansas for them to see me. So, and then how do I get my prescriptions? Because some of my prescriptions are required for me to be in the state of Arkansas to see them, and they are required to be for a new script written every month. And they cannot send them outside of Arkansas because I have to be in Arkansas for the appointment. And so they send it to my pharmacist here. I could go down in between appointments, but I can't stay down because I have these appointments. And then what about my daughter that I've got guardianship over that I am supposed to be helping? And yeah, she's well enough that I can leave her home alone. But I can't go down and help my mother indefinitely. And I had moved her up here so that I could take care of her up here. And she wanted to go back. I'm struggling. She's cut me off. I think I may give her a phone call later. But definitely not before I finish these worthy words. Because I know I am adequate to accomplish the things I need to accomplish in my life, despite my circumstances. It doesn't matter. It really does not matter to me how much I suffer emotionally, mentally, physically. I am going to do what I need to do. And I love myself. I will give my mother a call today. Because she's a human. And she doesn't deserve the one sibling that lives close to her abandoning her when she has left him everything and written me and my other sibling out of her will. Left us out of her lives, does not want us to know what's going on. I honestly have no desire to speak to her again. Not because she's a horrible person, but because I can only take so much. And this has been way out of hand for way too long. And I finally, at the age of 57, said I had enough and I'm not contacting her ever again. I had no desire to speak to my father either before he died. And the damage from my father was enough that I felt sickened to talk to him on the phone before he died. But like my mother, I fought for what was right for my father, even without talking to him very much. I talked to him like days before he passed away. And I felt physically sick to talk to him. But even before then, I was not happy with the way family members were doing him and not getting him the help he needed. He was still a human being. He still needed physical help. Sorry, wrong word. And I'm not happy with my brother that lives closest to her, that he's not helping her physically. I was there to help her until she didn't want my help anymore. She's still a human being. She still put a roof over our heads. She still made sure we had food to eat. But she's caused a lot of damage in my 57 years of life. And I finally had enough. I will talk to her, not for my benefit. I will talk to her so she has an opportunity to get off her chest what she wants to say to me. Because I know that is important. I know that is important for her passing. She's got to be able to come to peace with herself and what happened. So I did not anticipate this being a dumb session. Oh, the glasses are because I can't read the worthy words without them. And I really dislike wearing them when I'm filming because of the glare. I don't like the glare. I don't want you to experience the glare. But, oh man. some raw footage here. Okay, so sometime this year, I'm going to learn how to edit videos and take some of this stuff out. It's not today. It's not today. Let's see if I can. All right. Worthy words. Yes, effective. There are other definitions for the word. Actually in operation or in force. Functioning. My life has not been very functional. My family life has not been very functional. When, I just talked about some of that. And these are qualities I need and I want in my life. I mean my mother no harm. At the same time, when she is gone, I know I no longer have to hear or live with the negativity that has come from her for 57 years or close to it. I don't think the negativity was there when I was an infant. She actually loves babies. But as soon as they start crawling around, she doesn't want the responsibility. She doesn't. She's not into the older children. So maybe not for 57 years, but close enough. All right. Oh, the water. Sorry, this has been a long video. Okay. Abundance. Accepted, acclaimed, accomplished, achieved, active, adaptable, admirable, admired, affluent, ahead of time, all things beautiful, amazing, animating, appealing, approved, assured, attractive, awake, awesome, awestruck, beaming, beautiful, believed, beloved, blessed, blessings, bountiful, brave, brilliant, called, calm, careful, caring, celebrated, certain, cheerful, cherished, cleansed, comedian, composed, content, courageous, creative, creator, dear, delighted, delightful, devoted, distinguished, divine, easy, ecstatic, elegant, encouraged, encouraging, endorsed, energy, engaging, essential, excellent, expectant, exponential, effective, efficient, empowered, energetic, insured, enthused, equitable, esteemed, ethical, experienced, expert, fabulous, faithful, fascinating, favored, favorable, flourishing, fond, fortunate, found, free, friendly, fulfilled, funny, gained, generous, genius, genuine, gleeful, glowing, good, graceful, great growth, happy, harmonious, harmony, healed, healthy, heard, heartfelt, helped, helpful, honored, idea, igniting, imagination, immersed, impressive, income, increase, independent, informative, innovative, inspired, inspiring, instinctive, intellectual, intuitive, inventive, joyful, jubilant, knowing, known, kind, knowledgeable, laugh, legendary, light, lively, lovable, love, lucky, marvelous, meaningful, memory, merit, miracle, miraculous, motivated, motivating, moving, natural, nice, nourished, nurturing, open, opportunity, optimistic, overcomer, overjoyed, oxygen, paradise, peace, peaceful, perfect, physically fit, pleasant, plentiful, poised, popular, positive, possible, powerful, prepared, productive, progress, prominent, promise, prosperity, quality, quick, ready, reassured, reassuring, receiver, refined, refreshing, rejoice, relatable, relative, relaxed, reliable, remembered, remembering, repaired, resounding, rested, respected, restored, revived, rewarded, rewarding, right, safe, satisfied, secure, sensational, serene, shifting, skilled, skillful, soulful, sparkling, special, spirited, spiritual, star, stimulated, stimulating, stirring, strong, sunning, stunning, succeeded, successful, sunny, super supported, surprising, terrific, thankful, thorough, thrilling, thriving, timely, tranquil, transformational, transform, triumph, trusting, truthful, understanding, understood, upbeat, upright, valued, vibrant, victorious, victory, virtuous, vital, vitalizing, wanted, watched over, wealthy, welcomed, whole, wholesome, willing, wonderful, wondrous, worthy, wow, youthful, zealous, amen. And I am so thankful to the reading of the worthy words, in which my attitude goes from being upset to being happy and feeling good and like I can do something today and get things accomplished that I need to accomplish. And I'm not going to worry about that phone call to my mother. I'll do that later today after I get my work done, because if not, I'm not going to get my work done today. So that's just going to have to wait. But yes, already feeling better about myself, because I am pouring these words into myself. I've got to get them up on my website. I've got to get a link out so that you can have these words. Or you can make your own. But I will. It's on my list of things to do, but I'm going to take care of my project that is overdue first. One thing at a time, one day at a time, and sometimes one moment at a time. Here's to being effective. And there we have it. The worthy words reading of the day. And being effective. I hope you enjoyed my story, the rawness of the situation. Sometimes life is not easy. Sometimes life is like a roller coaster, and as we're going down, we're screaming, "Get me off this ride." And today I want a kiddie ride. I want to go easy on myself, but I do have things I need to do. And so I'm going to get off this ride. I'm going to get my work done. And I will see you all tomorrow. I hope you have a wonderful day.